great that you're the only one with a weapon that works.
Listen, you sit here and bleed, or you trust me.
Hello, Melissa. Welcome to Comic-Con 2024.
Thank you.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
It's a long Comic-Con, huh? You're having a good time.
I've only been here for yesterday.
It's been a long Comic-Con for me then.
For you, yeah.
For me, it's been a long Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Well, look, you are awesome. Thank you so much for stopping by. The first thing I want to ask you is, what can you tease about Your Monster and playing in the horror rom-com genre?
What can I tease? It's a very unique movie. You know, it's a very unique mashup of genres. It's a rom-com, but it's also it has elements of horror. You know, and there's music in it.
Right.
It's not a musical per se, because we don't break out into song and dance, but there's some musical aspects to it. So it's all the things that I love personally about movies, and I know that we're gonna find the right people for the movie. But it's super fun. It's genuinely, we've now been, you know, doing festivals in different cities, and it's played so well, and people really enjoy it and connect to it. And even though it seems, you know, like a girl that falls in love with the monster in her closet feels like it's just going to be like, you know, a fun, goofy movie, it's actually like really deep, and the message is really, really important.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, you've talked about how Your Monster got you excited about indie filmmaking again. What was it about your experience that was so rewarding on that?
It genuinely felt like a very collaborative team effort. I think with indie films, because the budgets aren't that big and because the pay isn't that great a lot of the times, you know that the people that are in it because they care about the story that they're telling, and you kind of have to problem solve on the go. And it takes me back to when I was a student at NYU, and like I would make short films with friends that were in film school, and that kind of vibe of like the hunger of the artist to tell their creative vision and to make something that we all are passionate about, and you don't know where it's gonna go.
Right.
But you don't care really. You're just getting to make something unique, and especially I think right now in the era of reboots and remakes and
Sure.
all of that, where people are so hungry for original content and original stories. That's what I see on social media all the time. People are like, oh, there's no original stories anymore. People just want to like redo whatever we've already seen. And so I think in the indie world, we do get that. We get a lot of original stories. So we just need more people to go out and watch them. When a movie that's an indie film gets theatrical distribution, which it doesn't happen often,
Sure.
but when they do, it's important to show up for them.
Yes.
So that you get more, because then, you know, you will get a variety of original stories.
Couldn't agree with you
out
more. I think that's absolutely. Now, the horror genre is having a hell of a year. I love a lot of the content we've had. Abigail was one of my favorite movies of the year. It was so much fun. The screening I was in, I don't think I've had more fun in a theater this whole year. It was absolutely incredible.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
It's great, and I'm sure you know, you were part of it. But you also got to share the screen with the late Angus Cloud. He is amazing in the film. Can you share any memories working with him?
I have, and actually, I had this one scene with him where it was just him and me that got cut from the movie, sadly. But just getting to like work with him one-on-one was a very special experience, because he was one of those actors that would do something different every time.
Sure.
And obviously the directors gave him that freedom of like, you say whatever you want, you know, just like kind of feel it out. And it was very cool for me to play opposite him and just genuinely react to whatever he was going to give me, and every single take was fresh. And I think, you know, if you get the DVD and you get the special features, like you'll see some deleted scenes, and hopefully, I don't know if that one's included. I hope it would be. I'm sure it will be. But it was just really cool. It felt like I was working with someone great, like someone with like a very raw, natural talent.
Sure.
And I'm so grateful that I got to work with him and that I got to share with him and learn from him, actually, because the way that he would not care about the blocking or the cameras or anything, and just kind of do what he felt in the moment was so cool to see. And I genuinely learned a lot from him.
That's incredible. That is absolutely amazing. Now, we get to meet Dracula in the film, and I love that, you know, this is these Universal monsters are, you know, they're iconic. Are there any other Universal monsters you'd like to see pop up in that universe if we got a sequel or whatever it may be?
I mean, I'm trying to think. I do love Frankenstein. I do. One of my favorite movies growing up was Van Helsing, and you have Frankenstein at the beginning, and then you have the werewolf, and you have Dracula, and it's like a mixture of it all. And that's my favorite kind of movie, where you get all of them in the same world, because to me they do live in the same world.
Yes.
And so I don't know. I guess Frankenstein is one that we haven't, because we've seen a lot of Dracula movies in the last few years,
Right.
and there's some werewolves coming out. I think Frankenstein is missing. I know there's a Bride of
from the Black
Frankenstein.
Lagoon is also one that hasn't been touched in a long time.
Right? So maybe. But maybe it should remain untouched. I don't know.
Maybe. Now, you have worked with the Radio Silence team a lot, and I think they're such incredible directors, and I love their approach to filmmaking. What would you like to continue collaborating with them on projects, and would you like to move genres with them if they were to do something outside of the horror realm?
Yes. And I think they want to.
Do they?
I actually think they want to, yes. There was a project that they were going to do, and then they didn't end up doing, but it was more like an action adventure thing. And I think they're just really good at what they do.
Sure.
They're very good at navigating that fine line between comedy and the drama of it all and the horror. And so I think that they would excel in whatever genre they wanted to go into. Shooting with them is so fun. They're one of the nicest guys in the industry, and everyone that works with them falls in love with them and wants to do anything with them again. So if they will have me, I will, of course, like without a doubt, just be there on set.
They don't miss. Every movie they make is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And incredible. I feel that you're a large part of the reason why there was a revitalization of the Scream franchise. You are incredible in that film. What would you want to take away from that experience that you can apply to your future projects?
Ooh, that's a good question. I feel like coming into a franchise that already has like such a history was very intimidating. And so at the beginning, I kind of let that make me nervous, and like, I don't know, like I got in my head about it. So I think now that I've already been through that experience in a beloved franchise, if I ever were to go into another one, I would know what to do, and I would know not to let, you know, the noise outside affect me, because that, you know, when you let something affect you, inevitably it affects your work.
Right.
Because it's, you know, I'm not the kind of person that can like really separate. I actually use whatever's happening to me in my life. I find a way to always use it and put it into the work.
Oh, wow.
So I think I would just be more well-versed in that kind of scenario. And so in the future, if I ever get an opportunity like that, I think I would know how to handle it better.
Now, a big part of the reason I think that franchise is revitalized is because you and the chemistry that you had with Jenna Ortega. You guys are incredible together, and that chemistry jumps off the screen.
Thanks.
You said you wanted to team with her, re-team with her on another project. Would you like to re-team with her outside of the horror genre, and maybe play adversaries instead of sisters this time around? Have you already started thinking about ideas of what you'd want to do together with her?
I would do anything with her. I think I know that Jenna really loves horror, so there's a part of me that feels like whatever we do together would probably be some horror, but I don't know, honestly. And I would be down to do anything with her. I mean, I would love to play sisters again. I feel like that was just, it felt so natural, and so maybe like another sister, but another sister story, but a different dynamic would be
Sure.
interesting to explore. But yeah, I adore her.
Now, how do you think the future looks for Sam and Tera, who get to have one of the more hopeful endings as characters in the Scream franchise?
I don't know. I don't know. And I kind of don't like to opine because I feel like it's very open-ended
Sure.
and whatever the fans are always, fantasizing and making up stories. So I always just like to hear what they think. I don't know.
Now, you are on a bit of a horror hot streak, exploring different subgenres of the horror genre as well. Can you talk about any genres within the subgenre of horror that you'd like to explore? Obviously, we have a rom-com horror coming up. Is there any other subgenres that you'd like to do?
Tell me the subgenres, because I'm blanking.
Well, let's talk about this. You have something coming out called The One, which is that right?
Well, no, I don't. That's a project that I'm attached to, but we don't have a date to shoot yet.
Oh,
so
okay.
you know how that happens sometimes.
Sure, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
Now, are you looking for more behind the camera opportunities? And because you really champion the projects you're a part of, so are you looking to do more behind the camera producing and stuff like that?
Yeah, definitely.
Any
Producing, directing, writing, doing it all. You got to do it all.
Got to do it all.
Yeah, you got to create your own opportunities.
Now, you were amazing in the Heights. Absolutely incredible. Is there another musical that you'd like to do, or a stage musical that you'd like to do as well at all?
Yes, it's literally my dream to be on the stage again. I've been trying to find the right thing, but I would love to do some theater soon. It just is what I started in, and so it feels like it would really just fuel me, really just reinvigorate me if I were to return to that kind of process of rehearsals and being on a stage and with a live audience, and there's nothing quite like that. As for a movie musical adaptation, I've always thought that Aida, I don't know if you're familiar with Aida, it's an Elton John composed musical. It's based on the opera, Aida the opera, Egyptian kind of world, but it's one of my favorite musicals, and that was my senior musical in high school, and I've always thought that it would make an incredible movie. So maybe one day.
Well, hopefully one day. Thank you so much for stopping by. Before you got in the room, we had a conversation about pizza, and I know you're from NYU. We were talking about pizza recommendations. I found this great place in New York called Sbarro's, which is fantastic pizza.
That's my favorite, actually. I was gonna say.
Is it really?
No, it's not. But it's a go-to. You can't go wrong.
But do you have a favorite pizza place in New York?
No, not really.
All right, fair answer.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm more of I'll just, wherever I'm coming out from when I'm craving pizza, the closest place is the best place.
That's usually the facts.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for stopping by. You're absolutely incredible. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate your time.
But why didn't you come to me back then?
I was scared.
Of what?
I was scared that I would turn out just like him.